Habarigani. How are my people doing? I want to welcome you to this short speech on the misuse of black slang terminology. It seems that there have been a years-long pattern in this generation of misusing a lot of black slang terminology and also even surrendering some of our terminology and replacing it with white slang terminology. So many black people say they are proud to be black. Some black people say they don't like white people or white culture. And many black people accuse white people and other ethnicities of trying to steal black culture. Yet, we seem to be doing exactly what we're accusing other ethnicities of doing. So I want to give a few examples. Here is a list of terminology that I'm going to address in this speech. This is not necessarily a complete list, but a few words worthy of addressing. Snitching, brother, and baby. So let's start with the word baby. Historically and traditionally, when a black man is referring to his girlfriend or his wife, or he's talking directly to her and he wants to use a term of endearment, such as sweetheart, when it comes to the word baby, that's exactly what would be used. But this generation seems to have started copying off of white people. White people usually would say babe. And then that word kind of evolved into bae. But it is white slang. White people would refer to their girlfriend or wives as babe. Black people didn't do that. But the young generation watches a lot of TV and white culture and vernacular. They see on TV shows those white people saying babe. And now a lot of black people are saying babe. You sound white. Black people refer to their women or speak directly to their women and say baby, not babe. Example. You know I love you, baby. Not babe. Moving right along. The word brother. When black people abbreviate that word, they would say bruh, not bro. White boys say bro. Black people say bruh. Again, copying off of white people. A lot of young black guys calling each other bro. Yes, you sound like a white boy. You need to knock it off. Snitch or snitching. Now this word has been misused by a lot of people for a long time, not just young generation. If one of your siblings told your parents about you doing something wrong, many people would say, oh, my brother snitched on me to my mama. Pump your brakes. That is not snitching. Some criminals will accuse a neighbor who called the police to report a crime of snitching. That is not snitching. So let me give you the definition of snitching so that we can be very clear, because we need to stop misusing that word. Snitching is a term that is specific to criminals, to outlaws. It means that you have one criminal or outlaw who is giving information to law enforcement about another criminal or outlaw. Snitching is a slang term that is outlaw or criminal jargon. If one person who is not a criminal gives information to law enforcement about someone who is a criminal, that is not snitching. Maybe he's telling on you, but he's not snitching. If one person who is not a criminal is giving information to law enforcement about another person who is not a criminal or outlaw, maybe he's telling on the other person, but he is not snitching. Snitching is one criminal giving law enforcement information about another criminal. That means both parties have to be criminals for it to be called snitching. Snitching does not mean generally telling on someone. When you have someone in school running to the teacher to give information about another student, that is not snitching. That is telling. The type of telling that happens between two criminals, that is called snitching. If you're committing a crime, such as burglarizing a house or a car or any other crime, and some law-abiding citizen calls the police, that is not snitching. That citizen has a duty to call the police on a criminal. It really is not much to say about the word snitching because it's so simple. As for the other words that I mentioned, baby and brother, this is a different problem, but also simple to understand. White boys don't say bruh. They say bro and babe. That is not black slang terminology. Black people say baby and bruh. Stop surrendering your own terminology. Stop adopting white terminology. When you do that, you're acting white. Then maybe we can say that you are exhibiting traits of an Oreo. And you don't want anyone calling you that, do you? Now, part of the problem is that there are a lot of black people, black actors in Hollywood, on television shows using this white terminology. And a lot of black people start copying these black people as if they are trendsetters, but they are not. They are simply copying white people. And almost all black actors in Hollywood are not grassroots black people. A lot of them are Oreos. Others are not necessarily Oreos, but they want to kiss the white people's butt. They want to ingratiate themselves with white people so that they will be accepted by Hollywood in order to make money. They don't act like most black people. But that is a whole nother conversation when you're talking about black people in Hollywood. And I will get into that in another speech. In closing, I would like to impress upon my people to exercise common sense and understand the simple explanations that I have given you, and then apply that information. Stop using white slang terminology. And let me be clear, I'm not talking about standard English. I'm talking about slang terminology. Stop using white slang terminology. Asante Sana.
Visit NobleSoulWisdom.vip, where black integrity meets action.